What's up, everybody? Sonic Clink 125 here, bringing you another video that's Yu-Gi-Oh related. um, I've been wanting to do a video like this for a long time, but just never got around to do it. And I always felt like this collection was just incomplete, if that makes sense. But right now, I feel like it is the most complete I can make it at this time. I'd like to introduce you all to my ultimate Yu-Gi-Oh card collection. It has been in the works for probably 25 years now, which is crazy to think about. I mean, it's as long as the game has been out, so it makes sense, right? so there's going to be a lot of old cards I've had since the beginning, and a lot of new ones, of course. And just cards that have been part of my childhood, and cards that have meaning to me, and cards I thought were cool, and yada yada yada. Also, shout out to Strictly Sealed on YouTube and Instagram and other platforms he has. He is probably one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh collectors I have ever seen, and actually makes product like these that are for collectors by collectors, and they're absolutely incredible. I'm not sponsored by him or anything like that. I just want to give him a shout out because he makes incredible products. Highly recommend him, especially these binders, because they actually use a flat spine that keeps the cards from not warping on the edges like a lot of binders do when you've packed full of them. And these are two of them that he has made, the Slifer one and a blue one. I also have a black one too, but I'm not using it. And after this video, I probably will start rearranging my collection. I'll let you know how I'm going to do that later. But anyway, let's get this started. We're going to start off with the main collection here. I really love the Slifer look on this. Hopefully he makes Obelisk and Raw as well, because I would totally get them. But mostly I would definitely love to get a Blue Eyes version, because Blue Eyes is my #1 favorite card of all time. In fact, show you this one off is the very first Blue Eyes I've ever owned. Still in decent condition, and put into this amazing looking card. What's it called? Card display case. Yeah, got this on Etsy. It's super nice felt, and you can just take it out from a top loader. But yeah, the very first card, one of the very first cards I've ever owned, Blue Eyes especially. I wish it was first edition when I got it, but it's all right. Not saying I don't have one, but super nice. I don't know if they still make it on Etsy. It's by Hand of Shelmet. I probably am pronouncing that really wrong, but I apologize. I'll show this one later. But yeah, just wanted to show this off. What started this collection to begin with. And let's check this out. Hopefully the focus is there. Yeah, amazing binders again. And I'm also using sleeves from Strictly Sealed that are really nice. They really make the collection pop out more. And here we have the beginning of this page. Exodia and the Egyptian God cards. And of course I have the original Lost Arts of Exodia, as you can see. I hope the camera shows it better, because I have terrible lighting in this room, and I apologize in advance. And then we got the sphere mode of Raw, because I didn't know where else to put this one, and this was like the best spot. Don't think about it. And of course some of the first quarter centuries of the cards that came out. For Obelisk, Slifer, and Ra. Like, this is just legendary, right, in and of itself. And it's not over yet. Now we got two other legends, which is Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, all in their highest rarity at this point, which is a quarter century, going in order as I remember, since this was the very first artwork of Legend of Blue Eyes, the very first pack, and then Starter Deck Yugi, which was the second. Well, technically the Dark Duel Stories version was the first. Same with the Blue Eyes White Dragon, but we all know this is Starter Deck Yugi as we grew up. Then the most common printed Dark Magician out there. And then the movie version. And this one was a special 10-year anniversary by Takahashi, the creator of Yugioh, who designed this card exclusively and has his signature on it too. It's super nice. Now, it didn't come in with an anniversary pack. It just came in the Jump magazine. Still super nice. Then you got the other artworks as well. The latest one that just came out, and the not Duel Links, but Rush Duel version. I only had one, so it is what it is. Then you got the first art of Dark Magician Girl, then her tin version, and then her other versions. The movie one, and their Lost Art one. Because this was originally supposed to be in the anniversary pack, but didn't make it in. But instead, we got it as a Lost Art afterwards. And this is the first one that they made. Because they made a second version that actually has the border. But yeah. Super nice. And we got this one. Then the latest one. Her apprentice. I don't know if that's actually her when she was being an apprentice or not, but it just felt like it fit. And her Rush Duel version. Yeah. Super shiny. Tried to get all the artworks of them for each page, which surprisingly fit. And of course, we gotta talk about the other legend, the Red Eyes Black Dragon. You got the first artwork here, then the other ones. It's funny that these two are literally the exact same artwork, just with a different background, because this one is bluish and this is more green. Then you got the anniversary one, which is one of the coolest looking ones out there. Now this came in the pack, as you can see. Whoops, right there. Super nice. Then you got the manga artwork. Oh, which, by the way, I should say, I believe, was it? I think this was the manga artwork. And I do have the manga artwork of this one, but it's in a different page. And then you got the latest one right here. Then I needed a space to fill this page out to make it look all... I can't even think of the words. I apologize. I'm just kind of winging this whole video, so I apologize. But yeah, I just decided to add this one in because it worked. And then the Rush Duel version. And then on this side, well, probably my favorite season of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which was season 4, the Seal of Orichalcos one. Despite the flaws it had in that season, it was still really good. Like a lot of cool concepts, cool cards, cool characters, and the stakes were really high, and it showed off of the Yugi Raphael going against each other, and Yugi lost that duel, and in turn lost Yugi in that sense. Everything about that scene was just a lot of fun. But anyway, yeah, we got the Ayatamias, the Fang of Critias, and the Claw of Eremos, and then the original Legend of Heart. And then this one in particular is super nice because even though I have the quarter century version, I do want to keep this one more because this one's the secret Pharaoh rare version, which is a lot more valuable too. You can see all the hieroglyphics in the background, which makes it work so much more. It's super nice. And as you can tell, the sleeves, again, These are cane sleeves by Strictly Sealed. Really make these cards pop out. The purple I have are basically related to like Yugi and Joey and anything around those lines. Green I have is for like some of my favorites. Of course, we have Yugioh again, but in its quarter century form, along with a couple other cards like the Millennium Ankh, his fusion version, and another one. And I wish this got a quarter century version, which would have matched the whole page better, but it is what it is. Yugioh Necros. Yeah, looks really good. And you got the Egyptian gods, of course. Man, this lighting is so bad. All quarter century versions from the originals, the Takahashi artworks that have his signature on there, and the movie artworks. Well, I know this one's definitely a movie, and I think this one is, but I'm not sure about this one. But it's there, and it matches, so. Next page, we got the Wicked Gods, the Wicked Dreadroot, the Wicked Razor, and the Wicked Avatar. I wish these also got quarter century versions too, but maybe we'll get them in Starlight. Maybe. Same with the Divine Beasts too. I'm surprised we didn't get these as quarter centuries, but again, it is what it is. Hopefully Starlight. Maybe we'll get them in the Overbreak artworks that we're getting soon. And then stuff that related to Yubel, like the Dark Beckoning Beast. And they also relate to the Divine Beast as well, so it works out all in quarter century. And then Yubel, one of my favorite cards. I liked Yubel before it became meta, basically. So the reason I have her in the center like this, so it matches going downward. Yeah. Just absolutely beautiful. And here's a fun little thing. So when she came out in the tins, there were some misprint secrets that came out, and she's supposed to have the prismatic secret version, which is like all squared out, but this one is just normal secret, which I find to be a lot more valuable. There was a guy who bought 5,000 tins, and only like 100 of them came out with this misprint secret, so beware of that. I wish this got quarter century too, but this is the next best thing. And another thing too is this card is actually a special stamped one for the 25th anniversary YCS. No, World Championships, excuse me. You can see on the bottom there. Again, apologies for the camera and the lighting, but I am trying. But yeah, lots of quarter century cards, as you can see, to really max out the rarity here of the collection. But yeah, love Yubel, love the deck. It was like probably my best competitive deck I ever used. I wish this would go back to at least to 2, which would be nice. But yeah. And then we got in this section all the hero protagonist cards, if that makes sense. So like right here in just this section is all the famous cards that Jaden used. Of course, he did use Yubel, but right here is Winged Karibo, Elemental Hero Flame Wingman, and Elemental Hero Neos. Like, we know these are Jaden's. And then the next are the Dragon Signers, as you can see. All in QCR, and then of course the Crimson Dragon himself. And of course in Zexal here, no, this is 5Ds, excuse me. And then Zexal, or Zeal, I don't know what's the actual pronunciation for it, but I still like to call it Zexal. This one here is the only one I know of, because I haven't really watched the show. I only know it through Duel Links, but this is the only one I know that he uses the most. So it's just one. And then we got the special dragons. I forgot what they're called, but they're from Arc 5. You got Odd Eyes, Dark Rebellion, Clear Wing Synchro, and Starving Venom. And of course, the combined version, the Supreme King ZR, all in QCR. And what's funny is it actually makes kind of like a Z right here. So it works out. And then we got Brains with Decode Talker and Firewall Dragon. So yeah, it works out pretty well on this page. All the main protagonists' cards. And then coming to more of my favorite cards out there. This one in particular is Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, and Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End. So they're actually the same character too, which is crazy that I found that out. And you can't see it, but this is one of the Ghost Rare cards, which is super nice. I love Ghost Rare. The way it has a 3D effect. I don't think the camera is really showing it that well, but because it's a ghost, it just disappears and then reappears. And there's actually color in it too, if you get right into the special lighting. Love this card. And I'm probably going to move it out of my binder into a special display case. And I'm going to show you those right now. Since we're on the topic, I actually put them in here, in these official display cases from the OCG, which is in Japan. You got the Blue Eyes, of course. Now, sadly, Blue Eyes and a couple others had a botched printing with their Ghost Rares. I don't know what they did, but they really messed it up. So they're not as good as the older Ghost Rares, sadly. You can also see some smudges as well. But I still like it. Super nice. This is how the back looks. Yeah, I have them just displayed on my drawer. Or shelf, excuse me. So that's one. And you got another one, which is Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. If it'll focus. Here we go. Super cool. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Yeah, I just love the disappearing effect and the 3D effect once you actually see it. It's so cool. We got the Winged Dragon of Ra. I have it in a special case because I'm hoping that we get Obelisk the Tormentor and Slifer the Sky Dragon in Ghost Rare, and I will put them in the red and blue version of this type. I'm surprised we haven't gotten them yet after all this time. And yes, these are all first edition too. Then we got the Sphere mode, because I felt that was appropriate to have too, with the Winged Dragon of Ra. Kind of see that 3D effect there, right? And then we got Red Eyes Black Dragon. You can also see right here, the other ones that were botched have like their picture shifted. That little black line right there. Yeah, the picture is shifted a little downwards. Yeah, it's sad that they botched them so badly. Oh man, with Dark Magician Girl though, I pulled her 3 times, which is insane. And that was like, this was the most sought after card. And yet with Blue Eyes, I could never pull it. And yet there were 2 people who came right after me after I opened my boxes. They pulled it. It was like the Blue Eyes was teasing me. It was wild. So, fun little story there. Yeah. I always seem to pull her the most compared to Blue Eyes, which is funny to me. She is my second favorite card, so makes sense. And of course, this is probably the most expensive of a lot of the Ghost Rares. Is the Dark Magician. Yeah, it's really cool. Of course, there's other more expensive Ghost Rares, but as like the main cast of the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise, this is definitely the most expensive. Super nice. So there's those right there. And then continue on with this page. I've been getting into Draco Tail as my fourth main deck to use in locals and whatnot. So I figured I better get their Starlights. And of course we're going to get one more, which is another fusion, which I'm going to put right here and then put this in one of those cases that you saw earlier. Yeah, really fun deck. And I love how it's strong but very fair, which is super cool. And then we got the different Silent Magician and the alternate artwork of Silent Magician level 8 from the anime, which is super cool. And then we got this right here. Alternate artworks of the branded cards, which is Yugioh, Albaz, Aluber. Aluber, excuse me. I'm looking at the camera video and down here at the same time, so I get it confused. And Blazing Cartesia. Now, I also had a whole Max Rarity collection of all the branded cards up to today, which I have sold recently. But I did record all of them in a separate video, which I'll have at the end of this one, and explain a little bit from here and there. But I love branded. It's such a great story, the lore especially, and the way it functions. It's one of my other 4 decks, because I have Blue Eyes, Branded, Yubel, and Draco Tail. So, and I wanted to at least keep some of the branded cards, so I kept these and one other, which is the very first Starlight I have ever pulled, which is Guiding Quem, the Virtuous. She is the reason I started collecting all the Max Rarity branded cards before I sold them. And I'm definitely keeping this one because of that. Absolutely beautiful. First ever Starlight pulled. But she is not the first Starlight I owned, but I'll get to that later. And of course we got Buster Blader, that's a classic, Summon Skull, Jinzo, Effect Veiler. She's like the unofficial monster for Blue Eyes, which is funny to me. And of course Cyberjar. Cyberjar was one of my favorite cards back in the day when it first came out. I always put it in my deck because of its effect. It was a lot of fun just to blow up the entire field and just summon level 4 lower monsters afterwards. Yeah, really cool. Then we got like the fusions, the synchros, the XZ monsters, like Light and Darkness Dragon. Most of these are just really cool cards to me, and cards I wished were Quarter Century or Starlight. Thought this was cool. This one, the reason this one is here is because this card actually won me King of Games in Duel Links, and I thought I gotta immortalize that. Again, wish it had a QCR, but maybe a Starlight in the future. Who knows? We'll see. The best way I won with this card was I would attack it directly, and on damage check I would use Forbidden Chalice to increase his attack but negate his effects, which means he would do 3,200 damage directly. Absolutely insane. Chaos Angel got a Starlight reprint announced for next year, so I can't wait for that. Great card. And a couple other ones. Rip. Love and hate this card. And then we got Junk Warrior. I couldn't fit him in the page where it had all the heroes, so I just put him here. Then we got all these ones here. Zeus and Typhon. We know that how they're against each other, which is awesome. Varudras, great card in Yubel. And just a lot of other great cards in general that I've used throughout the years. And all the links I have here. I didn't think I would like Links when I was coming back into the game in 2022, excuse me. Now I think they're a lot of fun. Broken at times, but a lot of fun. I'm surprised I got this one in particular. And yes, it is the quarter century version. This one was one of the most expensive cards at the time. Like, it was abnormally expensive, like 500 or so. But I was able to get this one for a really good deal. And now it got reprinted a lot, so the value isn't as great. Why can't it show the stamp? It is there. But you can tell because it's not silver. There it is. I see it. Boom. Cool. But yeah, I'm glad I have the card so it matches with all the pages here, but really sad that its value went down because of all the reprints. But that's what you get for collecting Yu-Gi-Oh. Then we got all these ones because they were either significant or fun to use in decks and whatnot. And Pot of Greed, what does it do? It lets me draw 3 cards from my deck. And then I can summon it too. Jokes aside, one of the most powerful spells that we've ever had that got banned for good reasons. And of course, also very powerful spells back in the day when we got them was Regeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, Chain of Heart. I mean, let's be real, these were absolutely broken back then. And they still are pretty good to this day. Then we got other ones. Again, I apologize for the lighting. We got Monster Reborn, Book of Moon, the Gold Sarcophagus, Graceful Charity, Magic Cylinder, like so many good ones. And then back to Dark Magician here. We got his manga artwork. Man, that lighting, I swear. There we go. And then his actual person, Mahad, then the arcane version, and then the other versions of him. Magician of Black Chaos. I'm surprised his ritual version didn't get a QCR, but it is what it is. And then his new form, which is for the Shining Sarcophagus. Nightmare Magician. I'm not sure if this is actually him in a different form, but I got it anyway just in case. And then Illusion of Chaos, his other fusions. Dark Paladin, awesome card. Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight is also really cool. And then his Toon version and his Legendary Magician of Dark XZ monster that you can't use in duels, but still a cool collectible. And then another Dark Magician Girl side here related. Like her Toon version. Again, I wish these got QCR'd too. All the Toon cards, but Konami, you missed out. Then it's when Dark Magician Girl are together, as you can see. And they're quarter century exclusive versions. There's 4 technically with a different colored background related to the box set they were in, but I only got the first one, and I thought, I'm good with that. Their Paladin one, the Eternal Soul, and this one here, which is the new Dark Magician version of the Shining Sark. Magician's Apprentice, which is related to, whoops, wrong page, related to the Nightmare Magician. And then her actual form, Mana. And then the Magician Girls. Surprised I didn't get QCR'd either, but whatever. And then the Red Eyes side. I wish these got QCR'd, but whatever. And then Dark Dragoon, Slash Dragon, yeah, the works. And now it comes to my favorite part, the Blue Eyes side. The moment we've been waiting for, I think. At least for me, to be able to talk about it. Yep, all QCR'd except for the Takahashi artworks that are only exclusive to these. So we're not going to get them reprinted or anything like that. Well, technically we had 2 printings of this, and that's it. But yeah, we got the very first printing of Blue Eyes artwork, the DDS / Starter Deck Kaiba, and then so on and so forth. The movie one, the manga one, the new one, and this one in particular is actually from the briefcase. I have a video already that I've showed off a while back, but yeah, this is from that set. Oh my gosh, that reminds me, I need to pull that out later. But yeah, what makes this Blue Eyes collection special is that I have, so far, every single printed TCG Blue Eyes that is out there, plus more. I think there's like maybe 4 different Blue Eyes I don't have, but the reason I don't have them is because 2 of them were European printed exclusively, which I'll get to in a second. The Platinum series, which I wish I was there when it came out. Too expensive for me at the moment. And the pre-release version of another card. But yeah, but other than that, I have every single Blue Eyes printed at the moment. Plus a few, like this one. Like, this is, oh, what the heck? Siri. Okay. So we got the original Bandai artwork and card. This is what it looked like. Yeah, these sleeves are awesome, by the way. Again. Oops, put it on the wrong side. And yes, I do have 2 Ghost Rare Blue Eyes. Technically, I had 3, but I sold one of them to someone else. And this one in particular, this is from the Animated Chronicles 2, where the best card to pull was this one in the OCG, but it was the only card that was printed in English, which is crazy. And it feels fake because the way it's made, like all caps, no dashes or anything, and the description. Super rare card, the highest attack and defense card, too difficult to get. You think they would just give us the English translation, but no, they just put it that way. Still cool to have though. I like it. And it's in place for another card, technically, because what's supposed to be right here is this prize card. The DDS Blue Eyes White Dragon. One of the most sought after Blue Eyes cards in existence. At least that I'm aware of. Absolutely beautiful. In a nice little case. And in good condition. It's not perfect or near mint, unfortunately, but it still looks good enough. Absolutely beautiful. Still happy I have this one. Wasn't easy to get, that's for sure. And then another one that was surprisingly difficult to get was the first edition Starter Deck Kaiba Blue Eyes. Also in lightly to moderately played, but still glad to have it regardless. If I had a lot of money, I would have them in mint condition, of course, but I am a poor guy who has a hobby that is expensive, and surprisingly I'm able to manage through everything. Then we got the Ultimate Rare that came out, which had a lot of problems. Always had nicked corners or shifted on the edges. Mine is probably the closest I can ever get to being perfect. You can see there's a bit of a shift on this end, but other than that, it still looks really good. No dent corners or anything like that. Then we got the other rarities. I put them all in order of the highest to lowest rarity, so that's how I'm making them work. Yes, I do have all first editions that exist for each card. And then we got Legend of Blue Eyes artwork. And if I had to say, there was one other card I wish to get. It's the first edition of this card, the original Legend of Blue Eyes. I just have the unlimited one, but I would love to get my hands on the first edition. But knowing how expensive that is, that's not going to be for a long while. But maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll have it. I'm glad that at least I have the unlimited version. And I've had this for over 20 years. So this is legit original that I've owned since. We got the other ones, which is a surprise to me that while the tablet artwork is the most, seems like it's the most printed used, this one has more printings, which is crazy to me. Yeah, again, all in different order. You have the different colors. Can't really tell because the camera is not that great. And then I got the 2010 ones that have the rare coloring on them. Yep, I got the silver, the bronze, the I think that's green, and that's blue, if I remember correctly. And the commons, of course, because they're just as important. Then we got the movie versions. And yes, this is the latest one that came out, which I just got recently. The Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship Qualifier Blue Eyes. It was not easy to get, but I have it. Then we got the manga artwork right here again. And then this one, the chibi artwork. I couldn't fit in the first page, so I just decided to keep it there here. The secret one. Now we're going to the world version. There's only technically 5 printings if you count the QCR, which is a surprise to me. And now the tablet artwork ones. We got the Ghost Rare, which needs a better close-up, which I do actually like the way it is done. So if I can focus it. Yeah, the Gold Ghost, I actually pulled this one. I remember specifically. I went to a card shop in the corner, never seen before, and they had their last set of Haunted Mine. Decided, why not? I had no idea this was in the set, and so when I pulled it, I was really excited. Yeah, and then we got, let's see, I can't remember the name of this set. The Ultimate Rare. Trying to think of any significance of any of these cards. Oh, this is the one that I was talking about earlier. So this is the dual terminal one. But there was a pre-release version that came out for this card, and that one is super expensive. That I figured, nah, this is fine. I'm okay with this one. Maybe if I'm rich, I'll grab that card, but for now, this is fine. And then we got the very first Speed Duel, one of the first Speed Duel cards that has the stamp right here. I couldn't fit the other ones, but they're on the other folder, so you'll see them later. And then there's the second printing of the Takahashi artwork. So yeah, all of those, and there's still a few left that I didn't show off because I couldn't fit them in here, but they are in the other binder. So now for the other Blue Eyes cards. I tried to get as high rarity as possible. So you got the QCRs, which is funny. I do have the Starlight one. And this is the first ever Starlight I ever owned. It's also one of the reasons I came back into the game to play. When I saw that they printed this card, I thought, oh, this looks so much fun. I gotta play again. So there's that. Heart of the Blue Eyes. Even though this is a Millennium card, I still think this is still Blue Eyes. And then you got the 25th anniversary exclusive Dragon of Pride and Soul. I wish these got QCR'd. Oh, and this one, I wish this got QCR'd too, but this is the original Magic Ruler Blue Eyes Toon Dragon before they changed it to Spell Ruler. It's unlimited, unfortunately, but hopefully maybe down the line I'll get the first edition one. Can't believe how long I've had this card. Yeah, most of these cards, especially the older ones, I've had for years. Then we got all these QCRs of the Eyes of Blue. Anything related to them. And we got the Stones, the Lord of D, the King of D, the Dictator D, Kaiba Man the Legend, Neo Kaiser. And then I need to get the first edition of this one because it's the only high rarity printing that exists, which is really weird, but I think not many people use this anymore. The alternate art of Chaos Max. All QCR'd. Here's the 25th anniversary exclusive version of Ultimate Dragon. And of course, yes, this is the quarter century one of Dragon Master Magia. This one was extremely hard to get. Let's see the 25th stamp. This was like over $1,000 at the time until it got reprinted, and now it's like, what, 600 or 700 around there, which is fine. Like, as long as this card is worth a lot. Though I do fear the Overbreak version that just got announced might kill the value of this card. But again, I'm glad I got this. Funny story is, I remember specifically feeling that this card would be pulled at a certain store I go to usually. And they were telling me that they're going to get their shipment late, so they don't know when they'll get them. For the boxes, I mean. And I was like, oh, shoot. The next day, they actually get them, and my friend goes in, pulls the first pack, and there it was. I could have gotten this, but nope. Fate laughed at me once again. But I'm glad I have it still. Oh, gosh. My luck sometimes when pulling these cards is just weird. Can't see. There we go. Then you got the other Blue Eyes related cards. The Legendary Dragon of Light. Whoops. And then, yes, that is, man, you can kind of see it in the lighting, the Starlight one. And this is the Dragon Master Lores, which is the 25th anniversary exclusive. We got more of all the spell cards that are related to Blue Eyes, of course. All in the highest rarity I can put them in. Because to me, Secret and Starlight in Quarter Century is considered my highest rarity. Unless they don't exist, then I go for the whoever's best. And then the final page, which is the most interesting. This one is another one from the OCG that we surprisingly didn't get. This one is the Kyber Rare one. This was made by Takahashi too. You can see his signature down there. But what makes this one special is at the right lighting. Oh, did you see that? It has this Kyber Corporation Rare. Oh, there it is. You can see the KC in the background. How it shines. Light again, it's really hard to light it up. I'm trying my best too, because oh my gosh. But you can see it like shine around it. It has like circuits everywhere. But yeah, super cool. I wish we got it in the TCG, but whatever. And this one is from Dungeon Dice Monsters. Yeah. Really cool to have. Because it is a Blue Eyes card, so it makes sense. And it's official. Then we got the Rush Duel version. The tokens. And yes, this is the misprint secret version. As you can tell from the view. The official OTS Blue Eyes Field Center. Also another one. And another token. But yeah, that is the main collection right there. Pretty cool, right? It was a lot of work. But we're not done yet. There's still the other binder to show off. Because there's a lot I've collected over the years. This one holds, as I like to call, a legacy collection, where it has all the original cards I've collected since Legend of Blue Eyes, with some fairly new ones too. Yes, these are all except for the reprinted ones, like these two. All original that I've had over the years. This one is basically to show, hey, this exists, but it's in the other binder, the actual original one, because I already showed you guys. But I got the reprint to just put it there, just because. Yeah, all original. This one is reprint. Let's see. I wish some of these were first edition. Man, it would make things a lot better, but whatever. And yes, I have the original prints of the Yugioh pieces. Not first edition, sadly, but whatever. Yep, the original Summon Skull Ultra. And yes, this is the original Harpies artwork before it got censored, because they forgot to do so. I don't think I dared to show it up close. Yeah. Oh, and this one right here. It's not the same card, but this was the very first card, Rarity, I've ever pulled. Because I discovered Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day when Metal Raiders was around. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I want that. I got one pack of Metal Raiders, and I pulled this. Sadly, I did not know that this was a super rare card, which is really hard to get. And one day, I was at a pizza place, and there was a kid who happened to have Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. And I traded this card for 2 commons that I later discovered were already in Starter Deck Yu-Gi, which was Mammoth Graveyard and Curse of Dragon. I will never forget that. I was so sad I did that after I realized what I had done when I learned what rarities were what. But nice to have in first edition as a reminder. We got more. And yes, another placement holder, because the original you already saw earlier is in the other folder. And I did pull this one too, which is funny. Oh man, I remember using this card a lot back in the day too, when I first pulled it. Relinquished. Let's see. Yep, a lot of these are all Magic Ruler. Save for maybe a few, and I don't remember which ones they were. Oh yeah, this one. I can't remember what this one has, because I can't see it from here. But anyway, there's my original Cyberjar. Loved using this card. Ah, this one. This was the very first secret rare I ever pulled, the Serpent Knight Dragon. Now, this one in particular, how I got this was my grandparents, for Christmas or for my birthday, it was one of the two, got me a whole box of Magic Ruler, and I pulled this. So, very special to me. And I'll never forget getting that card. Wish it was first edition, but whatever. And this one actually has a misprint, which makes the secret go the opposite direction. I believe that only happens for unlimited version of Jinzo from Pharaoh's Servant. We got some of these. And then we got the original name for Sky Scout, which they called him Harpy's brother, which is funny. First edition, too. Yeah. So many memories. I remember using this card a lot when I first pulled it. So fun to just special summon it without tributing. It was a big deal back then. Oh, Imperial Order. Never unban this card. Yeah, not much else to say, but if you're a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! And you recognize a lot of these cards, especially if you've grown up with them, you know exactly what these are about. This one, I remember pulling and being like, I gotta use this card because this is broken. Which I did a few times. It was a lot of fun. And then we got Final. Royal Command, that's another card. And yes, I pulled this one and used it a lot back in the day too. My sister pulled this one too. Which was funny because the set just came out, right? Which was this Legacy of Darkness. And we were at a Toys R Us with some friends. She pulled this one. And I'll show you what the other card is that I pulled right next to her. Then we got these. There we go. Tiny Dragon. Luster Dragon. I pulled 2 of these. And this is the original print, too. Because afterwards, they decided to call it Luster Dragon number 2. Which is funny. Fiber Jar. Gosh, that freaking card. And this is the card I pulled with everyone. The Injection Fairy Lily. Yep, original first edition too. It was a fun time. Oh, last turn. I remember hearing debacle with a lot of judges for Genesis format. Well, really funny. This card was something else. And this one in particular is a huge one. This is not the original. This is just a placeholder because I do have the original one right here. The first edition Dark Magician Girl. All of her glory. Like, she is too valuable to be kept in a binder. And they just look good together too. My 2 favorite cards of all time. But yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how expensive she got later on. Absolutely beautiful. Keep her safe in this case. Alright. Moving on. XYZ and the Dragon Cannons. As you can see. Then more cards. And while this is not the original printing from Magician's Force, this is actually from the set that was the reason this card got printed in this artwork first, which is from what was that set called? It was for like a special ultimate guide for new players, and it came with this card as a promo, and they accidentally used this artwork for the Magician's Force artwork instead. That's a whole story that I'm not going to go into right now, but just know that this is the reason that card caused all that, all those problems. And this is originally a good friend of mine's card. Long story with that one too. Double Spell was a great one I pulled too. I got to use. Vampire Lord. The original Exodia Necros. Yes, in first edition too. But it is moderately played. It doesn't look like it, but it really is, sadly. Skill Drain, still a great card. Use this one a lot, Kaiser Glider. And funny thing about these two right here, I pulled them at the same time in one pack, which was crazy back in the day. getting 2 super rares in one pack was just unheard of. But I'll never forget getting these 2 that way. It was awesome. But makes me wonder what happened to that one pack that was supposed to have one or the other. Who knows? And we're getting close to the end of when I stopped collecting the original cards. This is not the original. This is from the reprint. Anubis. Now we're going to Ancient Sanctuary. Is when I decided to just stop from there and kind of did my own thing. I would collect some cards here and there afterwards, but not as intense as like what I did from here. And then we got the original attacks of the main 3. Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, Red Eyes. Now we come to the end here of those sets. And yes, this is the original Harpy Girl artwork that they forgot to censor. Yep, first edition and everything. But I want to kind of put it up close for reasons. Like the shift of this card. I actually got this one from Team Samurai. From one of his bundle deals. And then the original Yugioh cards. Ultimate Rare, of course. And that's the end of it. And then comes more other cards that I've collected over the years. These 3 were originally from McDonald's. Yeah. Crazy that they did that. Because I think I only did it twice. The second time was when GX was a thing. But the first time, that was a memorable moment. Trying to get these ones. And then just the miscellaneous cards, the original Super Poly, the alternate artworks of Raigeki and Harpy's Feather Duster, Cyberstein, the other God cards, because these were originally in the other binder until I got the QCR versions. You're going to see that quite a bit later. These are from the original, the 10th anniversary of Yu-Gi-Oh! Special pack. Put it up close as best as I can. And the reason I have 2 spots open is because they were originally for Blue Eyes and Red Eyes, which are in the other binder. There we go. Man, this lighting. Now we got some other promo cards that I've collected, like the original Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, and Valkyrion. The movie cards. And yes, this is the original Blue Eyes Shining Dragon that you could pull from all the movie packs. Again, I wish this got a QCR. Same with the Dark Magician version. What a missed opportunity. And then a couple other miscellaneous cards. This one in particular was the first card I won in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament back in the day. I got 2nd place, and my dad actually got 1st place and got the Buster Blader one, which is really cool. I'll never forget that. We got other promos. Wait, no, these weren't promos, but like I just like the idea of these 3 cards just combining into Arcane Knight Joker. Crush Card Virus, because it was such a big deal back in the day. And it's still used too, with Malice, I believe. And then some of the Tin promos, the old Tin promos. Like Total Different Shogun, Blade Knight, Command Knight. Absolutely wild. And a couple of video game promos. Absolutely beautiful. other promo cards, I think, from tournament packs and whatnot. Yeah, it's been so long since I've had these. I have forgotten how I got them in the first place. And a couple of other miscellaneous cards that I just couldn't put in the other binder. I don't know whose signature this is. I forgot how I got this, but it's there. The original Legendary Dragons, but I have QCR versions, so they're in that binder now. A lot of these cards right now are cards I used to have in the binder, but now are replaced with the QCRs. This is the original Starter Deck Yugioh one that I've had for years. Amulet Dragon, I wish I could put that somewhere, but whatever. And then the token, the two other Dark Paladin artworks. This one I wish we can get in the TCG, but I don't think we ever will because it is a Takahashi artwork official. And more Dark Magician Girl. This one in particular, remember I was talking about how the anniversary tins had misprint secrets? I pulled this one. A misprint secret of Dark Magician Girl. She was going for like over $100 alone. And I was so happy to pull her. But I don't think she's worth that much now because of all the reprints, but I could be wrong. Still super nice to have. And then other Red Eyes artworks. And yes, this is a misprint secret token of Yugioh. This one is also a really cool card. This is a collector rare of Blackluster Soldier, Legendary Swordsman. Can't really see it that well, but oh, there we go. You can kind of see it. Had it in the other binder, but ran out of room. Same with this card, the Chaos Emperor. This is the original, but got reprinted recently, and wish I had a QCR. This is a ultimate rare, Thunder End Dragon, which is the highest for this one. But yeah, again, a lot of these cards were originally in the that last binder, but just couldn't fit them anymore. Other QCRs I've had, the Divine Beasts, QCR Poly, because that's a popular one. Other QCRs. And then other Starlights for the show and the lighting. And Lady of D. I would like to get the secret version to match with the other ones, but I can't fit it anywhere. And this card I really loved when I got back into the game with Blue Eyes. This card was so good with Blue Eyes because I could just bring this out and then use the White Stone and combo off from there. This is the ultimate rare version too. But RIP. Who knows how long it will be banned for. Unless it gets eroded. Who knows. And then these are the other Blue Eyes cards I had that I could not fit in the binder. Because one, these 5 right here are all Speed Duel versions. Another QCR that I couldn't fit. And these ones in particular are the actual reprinting with the actual first edition stamps. Because when the deck first came out, they accidentally were printed with a silver stamp, but still said first edition, which is really weird. Like, a weird mess up with that. But I decided to just keep them too. And now for the Kaiba deck from the whatchamacallit. I'm losing my mind here. The briefcase. With another card that I got. It was the 7-Eleven promo back in Japan. Thanks to a great friend of mine who got this for me. Let's see. Yep, all ultra rared too. And what's great about these cards is that they're OCG printed. So their card stock is actually really good. And that's what really makes this briefcase more expensive than the original Japanese, is because a lot of people didn't know this was going to be printed that way, because it is made to order originally. So when people got their orders and found out this was OCG stock, prices went up, which is absolutely wild to me. Oh, another fun fact is this card is, if I remember correctly, was never printed before in the TCG, at least. The Grappler, which makes it even more valuable, funny enough. It's so funny to see old cards that either he did or did not use, or were from his starter deck. And what's cool is that they did the original Monster Reborn artwork instead. Super cool. Final page. Oh my gosh, that light. There we go. And I just added these two at the end because why not? And that's it. For now. Who knows what other cards I will collect in the future. It's probably going to slow down since the quarter century run has ended. But there'll probably be cards out there here and there that I would like to collect. And of course, I will always keep trying to collect all the Blue Eyes cards. Because again, the 4 I don't have is the Platinum series, that pre-release dual terminal, and 2 others that were originally printed in Europe. But we already got versions here anyway, so that's why I'm like, I can skip on those for now. But yeah, what a collection I have here. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video here. I really appreciate you all for tuning in, if you have, and like the video if you haven't. It really does help the channel out immensely. And subscribe if you haven't too. We try to do some fun stuff here. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, but thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you have a wonderful day or night. God bless. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.